10 Great Books for Nordic Heathenry, brought to you by the Hail and Horn Gathering 2021. A Practical Heathen's Guide to Asatru by Patricia Lafayllve is a great introduction to the subculture surrounding Nordic heathenry, and particularly inclusive Nordic heathenry, the non-racist form of the religion. Daniel McCoy is the author responsible for the website and blog Norse Mythology for Smart People. This book that he's written is called The Viking Spirit, and it provides as well an introduction to Norse mythology and religion. It includes retellings of myth as well as explanatory notes about mythology, Old Norse religion, and the culture of the time as well, just like the blog. Runelore is an area where there is a lot of misinformation, as well as a very, very rich history of racist and non-historical uses of runes in modern occultism. This book here by Stephen Pollington is a more academic work that provides you with the basic rune poems and lore that we have about the runes, but doesn't include a lot of the mystical speculation and practices that come from Hermetic esotericism and Kabbalah. So, if you're interested in the runes, this is a good place to get started. Every heathen should eventually read the Poetic Edda, which is a collection of Old Norse poetry that deals with the themes of mythology and legendary heroes. It's essentially a corpus of poetry that provides us with the best evidence for the background mythology and narratives that underwrites the religious expression of heathenry. And this translation's by Hollander. It's a bit archaic, but the translation is really good because it keeps to the cadence and the emotional feel of the original. Some of the words aren't exactly the best translated, but if you're used to reading Low Scots dialect poetry, this work is excellent. Kevin Crosley-Holland is a popular children's author. He has a retelling of the Norse myths for kids that's excellent, but his tour de force really is this book, The Penguin Book of Norse Myths, Gods of the Vikings. It includes a number of excellent retellings of the myths that are found in the prose Edda, as well as details that can be found in the Poetic Edda as well in a few of the stories. A common misconception about heathenry is that it is quote-unquote Viking religion. However, of course, Viking is not an ethnicity. Viking was a job, and Viking was a particular type of subculture that existed within Old Norse society. One of these expressions of this subculture is encountered in this saga, Saga of the Jomsvikings, who formed a particular type of warrior band on the Wendish coast. And this is the saga, legendary saga about their activities. Translated again by Hollander here, but the saga is in prose, so it is quite easy to follow. The Saga of the Volsungs is one saga that should definitely be read. One of the reasons is that this legendary saga about Sigurd the Dragon Slayer and many, many other characters, Brynhild, influenced a lot of other fiction writing in the Western canon. We all know that Christopher Columbus didn't discover the New World because there are already people living there and they didn't think it was very new. But Europeans did. Now, they thought it was new because they didn't consult the Basques or the Old Norse. Both of these groups had been in North American waters, and the Old Norse had been definitely on North American shores prior to Columbus. This saga is the one that tells the story of how the Old Norse came to North America and settled here for a period. A lot of people have become interested in heathenry recently because of the television show The Vikings. There's a lot of misinformation about Old Norse religion and Old Norse culture and history in that show, but it does get people interested. Now, the television show, elements of it are taken from the sagas of Ragnar Lodbrok, who is a legendary figure in a number of different sagas. And this translation by Ben Wagoner is excellent. It includes a number of different versions of the saga, so you can see what the differences are between them. And hopefully, after you read this, you will realize that the television show The Vikings and its Ragnar are very different from the Ragnar that existed within the imagination of Old Norse society in the early Middle Ages. The Saga of King Hrolf Kraki is a ripping good yarn. It's a fantastical legendary saga that includes a lot of religious and elements as well as witchcraft and sorcery. It has berserks, it has shape changing, it has all sorts of different things that make it just exciting and a really good saga. It's not too long as well, so it's a good one to end this list with.